The night of May 2024 seemed ordinary at Heathrow Airport, London. The city was winding down, with only the occasional hum of engines breaking the silence. Among the many planes scheduled for departure, one flight stood out, a Boeing 707-312ER, operated by Singapore Airlines, poised for a long journey across the globe. As the plane prepared to take off, the night sky remained clear, but it held a secret, a force of nature waiting to be unleashed. Passengers were unaware of what waiting for them, and we think you are too. To know what happened that flight, stay with us and explore the rest of the story of Singapore Airlines Flight 321. Singapore Airlines Boeing 777-312ER operating as Flight 321, flying a scheduled passenger flight from London Heathrow Airport to Singapore Changi Airport. The Boeing 777-312ER, a marvel of modern engineering, stood poised on the runway, its engines humming with latent power. It was equipped with state-of-the-art navigation systems designed to guide it through even the most challenging conditions. The aircraft had a reputation for reliability, having completed numerous long-haul flights without incident. But as experienced as this plane was, no amount of technology could fully predict or prevent the chaos that awaited in the skies over Southeast Asia. On board the flight were 18 crew members and 211 passengers, each with their own reasons for embarking on this journey. The crew, well-trained and familiar with the demands of long-haul flights, moved with practiced efficiency, ensuring that every detail was attended to before takeoff. The passengers, ranging from business travelers to families on vacation, settled into their seats, unaware that they would soon face an ordeal that would etch this flight into their memories forever. The pilots, seasoned veterans of the skies, had navigated countless flights across varied weather conditions. As they prepared for takeoff, they reviewed their flight plan, noting the clear skies predicted for most of the journey. Yet, as experienced as they were, there was no inkling of the extreme turbulence that would soon turn this routine flight into a harrowing experience. As the plane soared into the night, it followed its designated path, cruising smoothly over Europe and then Asia. By the time it reached the airspace over Bangkok, Thailand, nearly 12 hours had passed. The first light of dawn began to creep into the sky, revealing dense clouds ahead. The aircraft was now flying at an altitude of 37,000 feet, a common cruising height, but the approaching clouds signaled potential trouble. The plane was about to enter the unpredictable weather patterns that often plague this region. Inside the cabin, the crew was busy preparing breakfast. Passengers were beginning to stir, some stretching after the long flight, others still wrapped in blankets, trying to catch a few more minutes of sleep. Suddenly, the intercom crackled to life, and the pilot's voice, usually calm and composed, now carried an edge of urgency. "Ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts," he instructed. The tone of his voice suggested that this was not a routine request. Before many could even react, the plane began to shake violently. The turbulence hit with such force that trays, cups, and even passengers who hadn't yet fastened their seatbelts were thrown about. Screams of fear filled the cabin as the aircraft jolted upward by 400 feet, then dropped back down almost as quickly, as if the very air around them had turned against the plane. Oxygen masks deployed, and the cabin crew struggled to secure themselves while trying to calm the panicking passengers. The turbulence lasted only about a minute and a half, but it felt like an eternity to those on board. When the shaking finally subsided, the cabin was in disarray. Over 100 passengers were injured, with 20 sustaining serious injuries. Among them was a 73-year-old man who was in critical condition. The once orderly interior of the aircraft now looked like a scene from a disaster movie. Oxygen masks dangled from the ceiling. Seats were askew, and the floor was littered with food, drinks, and personal belongings. The pilot, realizing the gravity of the situation, immediately assessed the options. Changi International was still hours away, and many of the injured needed urgent medical attention. The closest airport was in Bangkok, and without hesitation, the pilot changed course, descending rapidly to escape the turbulent air. In just 3 minutes, the aircraft descended 6,000 feet, a maneuver that was necessary but added to the passengers' anxiety. Upon reaching Bangkok's airspace, the pilot communicated with air traffic control, declaring an emergency. The air traffic control, understanding the severity of the situation, cleared the flight for an immediate landing. Ambulances and medical personnel were already on standby as the plane made its final descent. As the aircraft touched down on the runway, a collective sigh of relief could be felt, even in the silence that followed. The passengers, though shaken and injured, were safe. The emergency responders swiftly boarded the plane, tending to the injured and transporting them to the nearest hospitals. The next day, the remaining passengers were flown to their original destination, Singapore. But the memory of that night stayed with them, a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of air travel. The incident raised questions about turbulence and its potential dangers. Turbulence is a common occurrence, experienced by aircraft worldwide, yet its unpredictability can turn a routine flight into a harrowing experience. The public rarely hears about such incidents unless there is significant damage or loss of life. However, for those who lived through it, the fear and uncertainty they faced will not be easily forgotten. The pilots, despite the criticism that followed, had acted within the limits of their training. The fact that they managed to bring the plane down safely with minimal casualties was a testament to their skills. Yet this incident highlighted the importance of timely communication and the need for vigilance, even when everything seems to be going smoothly. The flight that began as just another routine journey turned into a tale of survival and a reminder of the powerful forces that lurk unseen in the skies. While modern aviation has made air travel safer than ever before, this event served as a sobering reminder that nature's fury can never be entirely tamed. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into aviation's most intense incidents. If you found this analysis informative, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next video. Drop your thoughts or questions in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring with Air Crash Breakdown.